ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्तो राधाकान्तो नमस्ते। Hare Krishna. So first of all friends, thank you very much for supporting all the video of the series, that is how to become dear to Krishna or dear to God. So we have produced 3 videos in the series, and this is the 4th video of the series where we will be discussing about the further quality of a person to become very dear to Krishna. So actually today we will be discussing about the slok number 17 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, okay, where Sri Krishna is mentioning the further qualities of a person to become very dear to him, okay, where he is mentioning Jo no hrishyati no deshti no shochati no kankoti shubha ashubha purityagi bhakti manjo swame priyaha. Now we will be breaking the entire slokas into small pieces such that we can understand the message clearly, okay. Now the first one is yo means that person, no means never, and hrishyati means takes pleasure or be happy or rejoice. So yo no hrishyati no deshti, again no means never, and deshti means grieves or envious, who become envious, okay. So where here Krishna is mentioning that person who never rejoices, okay, and or laments, or you can say, or not grieves, or you can say become envious, that person becomes very dear to Krishna. Now the person who never takes pleasures or grieves over the material gain or loss, that person is very dear to Krishna. Now it is very difficult to maintain this attitude, Now the common people like us, what do we do whenever we get something for our bodily pleasure or sense gratification, then we are very happy. And the opposite thing also happens, means when we lose something or when the situation is not as per our desire, so that time we become very unhappy. Or if someone else, like our friends or our relatives, if they have something for their sense gratification or bodily pleasure, but we don't have, then we are very we feel grieves, or we become envious towards them. So that type of quality normal people has, but Sri Krishna is saying don't be like that, okay. So that is the first 2 qualities. Then what further Krishna is saying, no shochati no kankoti. No shochati means never laments. Again, when we lose something which is very dear to us, then we lament, we just put our hands on our head and we say, oh God, what has happened to me. Actually, when something wrong happens to us, when we lose something which is very dear to us, like nowadays people become very sad also, even if somehow their teddy bear gets damaged, okay, or if you buy something that made up of glass, and that beautiful thing broken by accident or breaks by accident, that time also we are very unhappy, or we laments for that thing. So this is very common to the people like us, okay. But Krishna is saying the person who does not laments when he loses something dear to him, then that person becomes very dear to him, okay. So no shochati no kankoti. No kankoti means even never desires. Now again, desire is nothing wrong about desires, okay. Every people in the society has some desires, okay. But the thing is, our desire has to be purified. Again, what is purified desires? The desire which is for the beneficial of the entire society or the humankind or the society, that type of desire. And what is the highest level of purified desires? That is how we can serve the Supreme Lord, or how we can make the Supreme how we can pleasure the Supreme Lord. So that type of desire, you can say pure desire, okay. I mean, always if we think in our mind that how to please God, then that type of desire, you can say it is purified desires, okay. And that type of desire brings prosperity to the humankind. So that type of desires is acceptable, but not self-centered material desires. That is not preferred, okay. So no shochati no kankoti. Then the second line is saying Shubha or Shubha Parityagi means that we can break this word Shubha or Shubha means Shubha means auspicious, okay, and Ashubha means inauspicious. So a person who remains transcendental to all the auspicious and inauspicious activities or things or situation, so that person becomes very dear to Krishna. Now again, how we can be transcendental or not bothered or not agitated by the auspicious and inauspicious things? Actually, when we know and believe that every situation or everything is controlled by God, means that auspicious and inauspicious situation, everything is everything happens only after approval of God. So and in any situation, like in auspicious and inauspicious situation, if we always try to engage in ourselves in devotional service towards the God, then we can say that person is transcendental towards the auspicious and inauspicious things or situation. Okay, so we have to be like that, means we have to involve ourselves or engage ourselves in the devotional service towards the Lord. Okay, so that person becomes transcendental towards the auspicious and inauspicious situation or inauspicious things. So that type of person is very dear to Krishna. And the second, what is saying, what Krishna is saying, Bhaktiman means the person who engaged in devotional service towards him, towards Supreme Lord, towards Krishna. That person is very dear to Krishna. Means saying Shubha or Shubha Parityagi Bhaktiman Jo means that person who is engaged in devotional service, Bhaktiman Jo, that person, Swame Priyaho, that person becomes very dear to Krishna. So we have to accumulate all these good qualities gradually, day by day. That will come by practice. Okay, so let's try to develop so let's try to develop this type of quality among ourselves. Then we can be very dear to Krishna. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.